Alright, I've got to be honest here. I could not decide between the top two, which should be number 2 and number 1. It felt wrong to put either above the other, so I'm going to talk about them both tomorrow. That's right, number 1 is a tie, so tomorrow's video is going to be twice as long as normal. Oh boy. But since I still have to put out a video today, I'm going to talk about other things. In the process of making this video series, I didn't stop watching anime, so there's stuff that I finished that would have made this list had I watched it earlier. So I'm going to briefly talk about that stuff today. 3 stuff, to be exact. The first of the stuff is the movie Fatestay Night, Heaven's Feel 1, Presage Flower. That's a mouthful. If I had seen this movie in time to rank it, it definitely would have broken into the top 15, maybe even top 10. I really enjoyed this movie. More than any other entry in the Fate/ franchise, this movie felt more like an audio-visual experience to get lost in than a visual novel adaptation. The audio design was mesmerizing. It could meaningfully portray the quiet contemplativeness of an outdoor shot or the visceral, heart-pounding action of a fight scene. The visuals were... well, it's Ufotable we're talking about here. It's wallpaper bait everywhere. It's easy to get lost in this film thanks to its gorgeously rendered backgrounds coupled with that soundtrack, but this was also firmly a Fate/ story, complete with servants and alliances and violence and all that good stuff. In that sense, this movie felt like it existed somewhere in between Fate Zero and the Kara no Kyokai films. As an entry in the Fate/ franchise, I'd place it above unlimited budget works and far, 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 far above that garbage trash shit fire that is Apocrypha, but it doesn't quite reach the heights that is Fate Zero. I must mention though that the one downside to watching dope-ass anime movies in theaters is that the theater will inevitably be filled with nerds, which is fine if, unlike me, you're capable of socializing, I guess, but that also means there's sometimes unique cases you have to dodge. Like, there's this one guy who brought his scantily clad waifu hug pillow with him and had it sitting in the seat next to him. And this was a theater where you had to reserve your seats ahead of time, so that means this guy bought a ticket for his waifu hug pillow. I don't know if that means he's actually the bravest man in the world or just really, really weird, but either way, I just felt the need to put that story out there, so there it is. The second stuff I watched in December was the 3rd season of Food Wars, or at least the first half of it, I don't know. Anyway, guys, they stopped animating it. Food Wars isn't animated anymore, it's a PowerPoint now. Has it always been that way and I've just never noticed? Am I burning out on this show? I think I might be. The food battles were novel at first for being shonen fights but food, but the show hasn't done anything with that concept since its introduction. Every fight is always, who made the better food? And when the primary action is nothing but that, without adding any spice, it inevitably gets old. With that, on top of the show not being animated anymore, I'm finding it harder and harder to care. If the show had aired early enough to have made it onto this list, it would have been in the high 20s. But hey, at least it's not trash. The third stuff I finished in December was the Ancient Magus Bride prequel OVA. The show proper hasn't finished yet, but when it does, you can bet that I'll be talking about it at some point on this channel, because by golly, is it good. I don't want to get too much into detail yet, also I've only seen like 5 or 6 episodes, so I can't really. I'll just leave this shout out with a promise to return to this show more in depth another day. If I had to slot this show in, I don't know where it would go, but it'd be high. And that's about it with all the air quote honorable air quote mentions I can think of, so I'll end the video here. Tomorrow's a 2-in-1, and it's gonna be long. Okay. Yep, guys, I'm tired. I can't wait. I'm so glad this is almost over. Thanks for watching day 30 of 31 Days of Anime 2017. Today was a bunch of miscellaneous anime. Join me tomorrow for both number 1s, both of which made me feel major feels. In the meantime, I hope you know your number 1. Hey, tell me about it tomorrow. Memes. Thanks again for watching. See you tomorrow. Oh, I'm out of it.